construct a new infant heart. We like to tell my fear if I try to protect her. Got to cocoon her, construct a new infant heart. Will I to tell my fears if I try to protect her?
Hola a todos los amigos y a los seguidores durante estas semanas, estos jueves de agosto. Hemos estado compartiendo con músicos extraordinarios, tanto de Chile como del extranjero, de Argentina, de Brasil. Y que finalmente estas sesiones de diálogos de arte, vida y guitarras que estamos realizando desde el Centro Cultural de San Antonio, en San Antonio, para San Antonio, pero también para Chile y para toda la gente que se nos ha ido uniendo, no solo en Chile o en San Antonio, sino también en Argentina, en Colombia, en México. En fin, poco a poco ha ido creciendo este gusto, ¿no?, por conocer a los invitados que nos han inspirado con sus historias. Cecilia Zavala de Argentina, cuando estuvo con nosotros, Ángel Parra, lo mismo Yamandú Costa, el gran Yamandú. También estuvo Alejandro Silva y la maestrísima Patricia Chavarría. Bueno, hoy día es un poquito diferente porque nuestro invitado está en este minuto en su casa, ya que estamos en esta situación de pandemia, y está en su casa a 13.000 kilómetros de aquí. Está en su pequeño estudio y este invitado de hoy día es alguien que lleva más de 2 décadas tocando por todo el mundo. Es un invitado estelar a los festivales más importantes de guitarra de Fingerstyle. Realiza enorme cantidad de masterclass, tiene 4 discos y algunos de sus videos en YouTube acumulan millones de visitas. En su estilo combina el tapping moderno, la guitarra percusiva, afinaciones diversas y los armónicos que consigue de sus clavijas, estirando los brazos para cambiar las afinaciones mientras está tocando, y mientras hace todo ese trabajo, además canta y cambia los efectos de sus pedales. Es un verdadero one man band. Y esta entrevista la haremos en inglés. Y antes de comenzar, debo pedir las disculpas del caso, puesto que mi inglés es realmente malo, pero es un inglés que he aprendido en la calle, sobreviviendo, y es el inglés que me ha permitido conectarme, comunicarme, y de esa manera un poco conocer a tanta gente amiga que me han recibido en Europa y en Asia durante estos últimos 15 años. Bueno, decirles que está con nosotros desde Inglaterra Jon Gomm.
Hi, it's really nice to be here with you.
Okay, Jon, sorry. I was explaining to the people that who are you.
Okay.
I was asking sorry for my bad English, and maybe this could be the interview more funny in your life, because
No, absolutely not. I appreciate your English. It's much better than I have no Spanish, nothing. So I'm very sorry. You know.
Okay, I was talking with you that just recent that we have some little things in common, because for example, you was born in Blackpool, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And Blackpool is a port, really?
It's by the sea. There's no port, really.
Okay.
Not really a port.
San Antonio is port.
There's a small fishing port. That's it. It's very small.
Okay,
But yeah,
like here, like San Antonio, a little bit.
Maybe
Yeah.
a little bit smaller.
Then, but you loved to the Beatles and Michael Hedge too, or not? Yes.
Yeah, both. So, for a English musician from the north part of England, where I'm from, which is also the place that the Beatles are from, the Beatles is not really even music. It's just the culture. It's just
Yeah.
ingrained in the culture. So it's it's inside, you know.
Yes. You know, when someone talk about England, the first thing that comes to the mind is the Beatles.
Good.
Not England. Not England.
I'm glad.
Or
Good
maybe
thing.
Rolling Stone.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take that. They're from the south of England, so we don't talk about them here.
Yeah. Then another thing in common is you started to play, I think, more professional in the city of Leeds. Is
That's
really?
right. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And now today, the coaching of the Leeds football team is Marcelo Bielsa. Do you know him?
Yeah. El Loco. Yeah, of course. And so for many of my friends, I'm not a Leeds United fan.
Yeah.
I support Liverpool, but it's a long story. But for many of my friends, they're Leeds United fans, and Bielsa is a hero for the city, and he's such a wonderful man. So he's not just a great coach; he's a beautiful man, and he's making us. We are not so civilized in the north of England, and he's making us much more civilized and intellectual.
Great. You know, Marcelo Bielsa, he worked here in Chile maybe 10 years ago, and he did a really revolution on the football. He changed the mind of a lot of players of football, and then our situation gamers of football grow up a lot, and then thanks to Marcelo Bielsa. Okay. Really, I deeply appreciate, my friend, that you have accepted this invitation to share this interview with us, because for us, for me, it's a big honor that you accept this, and thanks so much, Jon.
You're okay. Thank you very much. For me, I feel very strange if anybody says anything like that to me, because I don't feel. I feel like a normal, very small person, and you are very inspirational musician in many, many ways. So. But everybody who's watching, they all know you, and I'm sure they all love you very much. And I feel the same. So it's me. I am grateful. It's me who is grateful.
Wonderful. I know that now will come a lot of people to see you. People from San Antonio, people from Santiago, people from Chile, and people from Argentina too, and from Colombia, because this program, this session was growing a lot. Then I'm really, I feel me happy to do this, and for this reason, thank you once again, dear Jon. One question:
Okay.
Your music is a great pot of hot soup with many delicious ingredients in melodic, harmonic, rhythmic ideas. It seems there is a great opening in your mind that incorporate many influence from the rock, folk, jazz, classic music, include flamenco. Tell us about it a little bit, please.
So I've just been playing guitar for a long time, so I learned a lot of different things. And my personality, I have no patience. I get very bored very quickly. In England, and in English, we say it's like a goldfish. So they can only remember for 20 seconds or something, and then they need the new thing. So that's like me, I'm like a goldfish. So every time I learn something new, I want to learn that and then go to the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. So for me, that's what makes music exciting to play and to learn, is to try all the different styles and genres. So, but I am not a master of any. So I'm not a master of flamenco or jazz or
No, please.
no, really, I'm not.
No. Please. I think you are very humble.
No.
You are very humble. But I know you. I saw you, and you are a really master. I can see you. Please.
Well, I like to steal a little bit from here and a little bit from here and a little bit from here, but not learn the whole thing. Okay.
Great. Then. You started very child playing ukulele, yeah?
Right?
And your story says that you composed your first song at the age of 6 years.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, if that happened in Chile, we would think that this child is super gift.
No.
The question is, how were your composition in that time? What things influenced you?
Oh, pop music. So it's all pop music. So my first song that I ever wrote was called "Have You Ever Been in Love Before?" And it's I can remember it because it's the first time I just realized singing a song that in my imagination, and then singing the song, that the difference between improvisation and composition is that when you compose something, you remember. That's the only difference. So in my mind, I realized, if I do this again, if I do the same thing again, and then do it again, and I remember, then I wrote a song. So I wrote my own song. But my daughter writes songs now, and she's 4, but they're not good. They're terrible. But they're beautiful to me. But it's just children playing. And I try to approach music in the same way now, if I can, so that I don't feel any pressure from my ego of wanting my music to be good. I don't want it to be good. I just want to express something,
Yeah, wonderful. Then, in that time, your father was a kind musical critic, no? Something like this. And the stories say that many great legends in the story of the guitar stayed at your home, like a B.B. King.
No, B.B. King didn't stay at my house. No.
I know.
B.B.
It's a
King
mythology.
had a nice hotel, I think. But I got to meet B.B. King where I was maybe, I don't know, 12 or 13 years old. And I met B.B. King. But we did have some musicians stay at my dad's house. So in my father's house, we had Walter Trout was my favorite musician, and probably the most famous. He's probably the most famous one who stayed in my dad's house. So Walter Trout is a great blues guitar player and singer from California. And he used to stay at my dad's house 1 or 2 times every year. And he would, the day after the concert, I would come downstairs and I would make cups of coffee for everybody in the band and make them some food or something, and then Walter would show me something on the guitar, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. I was very lucky.
Great. I think that kind of experience is always they are really wonderful when we are a little child or teenagers, because we can learn directly of someone that we admire a lot.
I think what it does is it makes you realize that musicians exist, that musicians are real. They're real people, and it's a job, and you don't have to be famous. Because I would go into school the next day and I would tell all my friends, oh, Walter Trout stayed at my dad's house last night, and they don't know who that is. They don't care, because Walter Trout, he's not a big star. He's not very famous. So I realized that you can be a professional musician, and if you're very lucky, you can do that. So it makes you realize a lot of things about music.
Right. Well, I see you with your guitar. Could you play a little bit something for us, for the people that now is looking and someone they don't know you? Yes.
So I'm sitting down right now. I never play sitting down, so I might struggle, but I will try. So.
What a sound, huh?
You like it?
What a sound, man!
Amplifiers up here. I don't know if you can see them, so I'm cheating a little bit. But my voice won't be so good.
Wrap up her limbs so she can lie, spinning silk around her. Watch her inhaling fireflies, illuminate her from inside. Construct a new infant heart. Will teach her my fears if I try to protect her? Construct a new infant heart. Teach her my fears if I try to protect her.
Is that okay? You want the whole song? Wonderful. Just a little bit. Okay.
Yes. Obviously, that for online, you know what happened with online. It's not the better sound, no. But but the people, I think, that appreciate a lot what your gift, because behind of the travel of the sound, we can get the spirit of the music, and the spirit of your music is really so deeply. I think it's so emotionally something in your atmosphere, in your words.
Okay.
I understand. Yeah. And thanks for that moment. Wonderful.
But it's the same with you. It's the same with your music. It's the same. So it is that you have the same ambition. You have the same ambition that I have. which is that you want people to experience an emotion when they are listening to you. And when you make music, you write about things which are emotional things to you.
Yeah.
So for you, it's about sharing your emotions, and it's the same for me. And I think there's just two reasons that my music is has emotions inside it. Reason number one is that I'm a very emotional person, especially for an English man. I'm very emotional. So maybe my heart is Latin, you know. My heart is Spanish or South American or something. And the second thing is that when I compose music, the subjects that I compose about are things which are very important for me. So that's where the emotions come from.
So, yeah, something in your harmonics sequence have a little bit of South America.
Maybe
because it's very nostalgic. It's a big with a big space in the chords. A lot of wonderful musicians in South America compose music in that way, and for this reason, something of your music have Celtic music, jazz or rock music, but maybe in your unconscious, in your deep mind, you have some ideas of South America.
I think inside, like, it's interesting you say Celtic music and Latin music. The roots, when you get down inside, even in like China, very different cultures, and Africa, the harmonic roots are the same.
Yeah.
Even in India, that's the one which is the most different, I think, that I know about. But the harmonics are the same. The only one where it's different, the only genre of music where to me it's very different is the blues, which is another thing which is important to me. And the blues came from a society that was broken and filled with pain.
Yeah.
And as a result, the harmonies inside the blues are very, very dark. A lot of the time, it's very dark. So that's the one where I would say it's different, you know. But yeah, inside everything, it seems the same. I've traveled all over the world, and there has never been a problem communicating with music in different countries.
Yeah. Great. Then you refused to go to Oxford University.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And went to study guitar at high school.
What an idiot. That's the worst decision I ever made. So yeah, I went to the Guitar Institute, and it was fantastic. But yeah, I sometimes wish that I had a regular job and I went to Oxford and did that, you know, because being a musician, especially right now with the pandemic, it's really hard, you know, it's so hard.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it would be nice to have a normal life, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. I was looking the tattoo, one of a lot of tattoo.
Yeah, I have
on
some.
your arms is from the cover of Michael Hedge.
Yeah, this one.
Oracle album. Tell us, please, who is and what does Michael Hedge mean in your life?
So wow. So like many musicians, I had like many guitarists, modern guitarists, I had a moment the first time that I heard Michael Hedges. I can remember putting the CD in the CD player and listening to it the first time, and slowly you kind of have this opening. It's like somebody's opened the windows in a room, and all the air is blowing in, and you never think about the guitar or music the same way ever again. Michael Hedges changed the way that we look at this instrument by using tunings and techniques and his incredible imagination. And to me, he was also a solo performer, and that I wanted to be like. And he was an artist that I wanted to emulate as well, because he loved serious music and technique, but he also loved pop songs, and he would sing and write songs. So for me, he was the perfect musician. Everything was so filled with beauty and technique and emotion. He's just the greatest.
Yeah. Tell me, Jon, one of another things, no? But one impressive thing when you are playing live is saying how you work with the pegs.
Okay.
The pegs of your guitar, changing the pitch while you play. Where did the idea come from? And you need special pegs?
Yeah, so these are pegs from a banjo.
Banjo?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the idea comes from the banjo.
Yeah.
What great.
So you have to go into the woods in America, into the forest at night with a big net to try to catch the banjo. Very difficult to catch, but you have to catch a banjo and then remove its pegs once you caught it, and you can put them on your guitar. And they're really fun, and it's really easy. And I don't know. Yeah, you should get some. I think you should get some, for sure. I think it would sound great with your music. I think you could do really good things. But so in the banjo style, they use them for finger picking. But they're quite limited. You can't do much with them because your hand is here, not here. Okay, so you can only play open strings.
Yeah.
So what I figured out was that I could, like in that song that I played, if I use tapping, then I can play. I can use different notes because I'm tapping. Because I'm tapping notes with my right hand, I can play a note and then tune straight away with the other hand. So it's not so hard, it's not so difficult, really.
But then one question, then the pegs of your guitar are the peg of the banjo, not the guitar.
Yeah, just two. I just have two banjo and 4 guitar.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just because when I bought these, they're quite expensive, and I could only afford 2, so I just bought 2, and then I just stayed with 2. So, that's why I have to. They just were expensive.
Okay. In 2012, you already had a career. You played in many places. You had your 3 CDs running among the people. But a tweet that said, "Whoa, helped your some passion flower to patch your career forward. A million of people met you." What do you think of the power of social media and the influencer?
Yeah. I don't know. It seemed 10 years ago or more like it was just something great, you know? But now it seems like it's something really dangerous. So I'm not so sure anymore. It's there's a lot of people who use it now for politics. Maybe we should just make it for musicians and, you know, entertainers and artists. And they're the only people that are allowed to have YouTube and Twitter because now it's politicians and they do politics on the internet, and sometimes they're very dangerous. Yeah, so I don't know, but I'm glad that it happened. For me, it was amazing. So what I love about the internet is that anybody can make a video, or anybody can create some music.
Yeah.
You can put it on the internet, and then maybe if you're lucky, then you can become, you know, people can find your music, and it can become a thing where everybody shares it. And for me, that's a beautiful idea. The idea that somebody likes your music, and then they tell their friend, or they tell their brother or their daughter or their father, listen to this, and they share it, because to me, music is for sharing. That's what it is. So to me, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And always is, I think that is very, very important. I think that someone like, for example, Stephen Fry said about your music only, wow. Only with this, put your music forward.
I guess it wasn't just him. There were quite a few people who were talking about it. So when something becomes popular on the internet, I think a lot of people find it at almost the same time or the same day. But maybe he's the most famous. In England, anyway, he's the most famous. So do people in South America, do they know who Stephen Fry is? Is he famous?
Some people that love the movies, I think that know him. I know him for some movies, like an actor.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, so maybe there's more famous people. So David Crosby shares my videos quite often. You know David Crosby?
Crosby, Stills and Young.
Exactly. And for me, that's really special because David Crosby was also very close friends with Michael Hedges. So for me, that's really beautiful. I feel very happy about that.
Yeah. So that is great because I think that they recognize in you something special that we talked about before. Recently, you changed your guitar. You play it with your all loud and guitar for more than 20 years.
Yeah.
What motivated the change?
Well, my guitar is getting very, very old, and I needed a new guitar. So she's really getting old. And Ibanez Guitars from Japan, they asked me if I would help them design a guitar. And the idea for the guitar is that it's designed for modern styles. So fingerstyle and tapping and percussion, but all just a modern fingerstyle, everything after Michael Hedges. because that style is really popular now. So, yeah, for me, it's nice to have this style of music recognized by a company like Ibanez, and they want to produce a guitar for us, you know? So I'm doing my best to help them design that guitar. And this is the third prototype.
Yeah.
So this is the newest one, but it's still not quite right. We need to make some small changes, and then it will be perfect.
Okay. It could be possible to listen a little bit or another little fragment of your music?
Sure. I don't know. Let me think. Everything I play is in different tunings, so I try to think of something in the same tuning.
How many tuning you use normally?
Every song is different.
You know, in Chile exists the rural tunings. On the rural tunings, the people that work in the rural tunings, they have more than 40 tunings. It's a lot.
Really? Can you see me here?
Ah, yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah, yes, it's perfect.
Yeah?
Wow.
Landscape is a ruptured rain. The tears are streaming down the window. I contemplate nothing. Old man sits down and faces me. He's got a smile I think it's saying to me. He says, I know your problem. Music's for dancing, magic's for the spellbound. Love is for lovers, what's
Yeah.
Fragment. I hope you liked it.
Great. You like a lot of musician on the world, and me too. You are a musician who lives by doing many concerts. How has COVID affected you? What kind of things have you been doing? Are you readapting, reinventing to you?
So for me, when it happened, I was finishing an album. So I'm releasing a new album in October, and we already released one song called Cocoon, which is on YouTube or Spotify right now.
Yeah.
So I had some things which I was already working on. So I was really busy making that record. And I made one online concert on my website, which was really cool. And lots of people came, and it was quite emotional. You know, it was in the time where everybody was really at home all the time. Everything was closed. But in terms of reinventing myself, I don't want to do that really. I don't want to be a musician and not play to audiences in a venue, or in a pub, anywhere. You know, I want to play to an audience. So if I can't do that, I'll do something else. I don't think that I would want to be a musician just making videos on the internet, or just performing on YouTube or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I would. Maybe when I try it more, it will be something that becomes more real for me. But I don't know. What about you? How do you feel?
Well, here in Chile, we are living still in quarantine. It has been really hard for all the people, and for the musician, really for the musician, we have in the last order. We are
Well, I think in English we would say
I'm trying to.
I'm going to say the lowest priority.
Yeah, exactly. Then we are looking, I think, here in Chile, how we can return. But one thing, we don't want to return to the normality, how was living before, because that normality it was so inequality, unbalance for everybody. Then from the musician and from the a lot of artists, we are pushing for change some things in the political way.
Is that possible in Chile? Is that possible?
Yes, it's possible.
Because I know that in Chile you have I don't know if I'm going to use the correct terms, but the culture seems to be more socialist. So people are more. Yeah. Okay, that's okay, guys. You have to be careful. In America and also in Britain, people are very scared of socialism. So they're very frightened by that. So it's for me, it's amazing to imagine that maybe we can look at the problems that existed before COVID. So things like the society is not equal, and the money is not equal, and I don't want to be rich, but it's tough to make a living in the music industry. But there are some people in the music industry who are making a lot of money by owning Spotify and owning YouTube and owning Facebook. And if I put a video on Facebook, so last week I put a new video on Facebook and 100,000 people watched it so far. So it has 100,000 people, 100,000 plays, but I get zero money at all for that. It's just Facebook gets the advertising.
Yeah.
I don't even get the royalties from my song that I wrote. Just nothing. Yeah. Facebook is outside of the usual laws, the usual rules. So it would be amazing if we can change that. But for me, in England, it doesn't feel like it's going to change. So
yes,
maybe we need you, you guys in Chile, to be the leaders.
Yeah. Now in the next October we have the possibility of change our constitution.
Right.
And that means a really a big revolution if we get it. And we are working, pushing that it could happen here. But we will see. By the moment we are making our work, making music, inspiring a lot of people to do his best. And but one thing more, Jon. Yeah. You are an independent artist. You are an independent artist working all your life almost outside the big industry. In fact, in 2013, you released the album Secrets Nobody Keeps, 100% financed through a pledged music campaign.
Yeah,
and
that's
you have
right.
achieved great success. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
What
good.
do you think? What do you think of the freedom of a musician, of an artist?
It's well, that's really interesting. Freedom in that situation, it's kind of personal power. So it's your personal power to
Yeah.
choose what you do, and if you don't compromise that, then you can do whatever you want. But it's interesting because I don't think that anybody is telling Kanye West what music to make. I think he makes exactly what music he wants to make. I have no doubt about that. I think he works the same way that he always worked, and he's probably maybe the most famous musician in the world now. And so freedom doesn't necessarily mean being independent, because he's not independent. He has many financial connections with big corporations. So it's very interesting. It's very complicated. It's not simple. It's not black and white. So what I'm trying to do now is I've changed the way that I work, and I'm now working with companies, but only independent companies.
Yeah.
So I have a record deal now. So I have a record company that I work with called K-Scope, but they are a independent record label. So
Yeah.
it's not like they buy me and then they own me. It's not like that. It's more like I'm the independent musician, they are the independent record label, and we work together. So it feels good. It feels really healthy. So it's good.
Okay. Only to finish. Do you think that you could send a message to the new musician or artist in Chile or South America? Maybe they want to listen something about you.
Okay, so I never like telling people how they should be artists or anything. I think no matter what kind of music or art you are creating, the most important thing is that you have to be yourself. So there's two things. Firstly is people want to be original, but they get very confused and they think that being original means being new. So you invent something new, like Thomas Edison or something. You have to invent a novel thing, but that's not original in art. In art, being original just means being yourself. So finding what is unique about yourself and expressing that in the music. And that might happen naturally, or it might not. You might have to work. And the other thing that I always like to say to artists about being yourself is that sometimes you know that it's working when it seems bad, or the reaction is bad, or somebody criticizes you. So I remember one time I was feeling depressed when I had to perform. I was feeling very anxious and very nervous because my mental health is not always good, and I felt really bad. And I went on stage and I told the audience everything. I told them how bad I was feeling and how terrible I was feeling. And after the show, it felt amazing. I felt much better. It felt really good. But the promoter of the show, so the boss of the show, came to me and said, "You shouldn't do that. It's not professional. Don't do that. It's not professional. You have to put on a show and be, entertain. People don't come here to be depressed." But I realized straight away that he was wrong. He was totally wrong. And it's important to be yourself. So when you get the negative reaction, sometimes that means you're doing it right.
Okay, Jon. Only please, only give you our thanks from the Cultural Center of San Antonio from Chile to England, to your home, and say you that here you can see here is the theater.
It's beautiful.
The theater of this. Yeah.
It makes me feel very sad.
I think 200 people approx, and I want to say you that if sometimes in the next future with a new life, not the normal life, with the new life, with a new society, maybe you could come to South America, to Brazil, Argentina, and to Chile. Here in San Antonio, you have my home, and you have this wonderful theater for you give us a wonderful concert of your music.
Well, looking at the theater, it makes me feel really sad right now, because I just want to be on the stage or be in the audience watching somebody else, and it's hard. Yeah,
it's hard. Then thank you, Jon. It's on a little interview. Sorry for my English.
Perfect.
I hope you enjoy, because it's so funny.
No, it's not funny. It's beautiful. You sound wonderful.
And I hope to meet you once again sometime to make music together in some place. We don't know, but the universe know. And I will speak in my language. Only wait me a little bit there, please.
No problem.
Solo decirles a todos los que nos han seguido durante estas 4 sesiones nuestro agradecimiento por todos los comentarios, por todos los seguimientos que nos han hecho, por todos los estímulos que nos han dado. Realmente nos sentimos muy motivados. Por otro lado, los músicos que han estado invitados, todos se han sentido muy cómodos. Y para nosotros eso es una real inspiración. Esperamos volver quizás en el futuro con un nuevo programa de diálogos de arte, vida y guitarra, con otros artistas y otros músicos a compartir con ustedes, y decirles que el Centro Cultural San Antonio mantiene sus actividades vivas, activas, en cada una de las cosas en las que está comprometido. Y por su lado, en lo personal, me siento muy agradecido de todos los, como ya lo dije, de todos los comentarios que hemos recibido. Y quiero, como en todas las sesiones pasadas, quiero hacer algunos reconocimientos. Esta vez, algunos reconocimientos internacionales. Reconocimientos a Bob Bonastre, Ralph Gogg, Walter Lupi, Peter Finger, Thomas Richer, Wan Chiawei, Sandor Chavo, Stan Barek, Livio Gianola, Carlos Justiniano, de San Antonio, el gran Jaime Herrera, y otros guitarristas como Esteban Espinosa, Mauricio Garay Cid, Jonathan Caroca, Félix Sante, Paolo Murillo, del Fingerstyle de Colombia, Chalo Cantor, Mauricio Cubaque y otros que están trabajando en el Fingerstyle de Colombia, y en Argentina, Live from Home de Javier Moyano, Sergio Berdichevsky, Tona Vela, Martín Echeverry. Dear Jon, I was giving my thanks a lot of people that helped me and work in different countries of the world and here in Chile. Maybe you want to say goodbye to your new friends here in Chile.
I would love to. Thank you so much for listening to me speak and listening to me play. And I believe that, you know, we're going to have a really good future together, whether we have to communicate on the internet or if we can meet each other in person. So thank you so much. Thank you.